All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Dashcoin Research Podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Wenzel, and today I have Gavin with me. Gavin is building Paragon Tweaks, a company that helps you boost your PC's performance. Gavin, it's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you for the reach out. I'm sorry it took a second to catch up on the DM, but I'm glad I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to have you. A lot of people have been asking you to come on, so this has been long awaited by many people. I'm excited to get it out there. Can you tell me how I did with my description of your company? Like, is there anything you want to add to that?
I feel like you kind of hit it on the nail. I feel like everybody is a PC user in 2025. Everybody deals with a little bit of lag or the computer not working the way it should be, including myself. So when I first started the business, I was like, man, like what if I could start something to basically mitigate this? Or if you need help with a computer, not take it to Best Buy and spend hundreds of dollars on repairs that would have took 5 to 10 minutes. So I kind of started building that, and fast forward 7, 8 years later, here I am.
Yeah, crazy. You've been building this for 7 years. Like, can you tell us about who you are, like what you were doing before you were doing Paragon? I mean, 7 years is, I guess, a long time already. But yeah, like, how did you get into this?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm originally from Michigan. So I'm like kind of close to Michigan University. I went to a vocational school for study. It was a college program, but I was kind of ahead. So I went to culinary school, but I also was dual enrolled in computer hardware. So I kind of took those two courses together. Culinary really has nothing to do with my business, but I just enjoy eating and enjoy cooking. But that was right before COVID. So I finished my first year in both programs. On the culinary aspect, I was working on the line as a chef. And in the computer hardware aspect, I graduated the first year, which was a 3-year course. And then they actually hired me to work on the school district for computer repair and stuff for the teachers and stuff. Right as I was reaching like my 7th or 8th month working at the school district, COVID happened. They kind of shut everything down. Everything went online. So I lost my paid internship. The restaurant closed down. So everything was pretty much online. And I feel like this goes for a lot of people that were doing school during COVID. We were just playing games. Like nobody was really doing any work. So I was just booting up Fortnite. That was the most popular like game at the time. So like 10, 12 hours a day just on Fort, just grinding and stuff. And so I had a super low end computer like starting off, and I was like struggling with it. Like it was terrible. A laptop, my parents were like, no, you can't get a computer or anything like that. So I was stuck playing on this super old HP Pavilion laptop. I was getting like 50 FPS max. And so I'm like, man, if I just had a better computer, like this would make everything so much easier. So I was like always on YouTube, always researching stuff like how do I make my computer work faster? Fast forward, I want to say like a year, a friend gifted me a computer, and I was like, oh, this is sick. And it was a super, super old, it was probably worth like $350, like not good at all. But it was like my first step into working with a higher level machine. And then I got across guides and stuff like that about figuring out you can really boost performance for gaming. And so I feel like competing in Fortnite and playing in tournaments and stuff like that, you constantly dealt with like performance. Every drop of FPS, latency, it all matters in that game. So I feel like combined with like playing at a decently high level and also like wanting to get the most out of my computer, I feel like it just kind of merged into one, like my two passions.
Yeah, it's always good when you're like the primary user of your product, or because you know what you need and like you know what you care about. I'm also a pretty big gamer, so I definitely had a similar experience trying to make my piece of crap computer work better. So you've been running the business for the last like 7 years. How did you hear about Believe in the first place?
So in the Fortnite community, a ton of our pro players, it's probably like one of the most highest earning online tournament esports out right now. So a ton of our players were making a ton of money. And so a lot of them retired kind of early from the game because competing at Fortnite for a super long time, it's like not good for your joints and stuff. So most of them went down different business ventures and avenues. And so a lot of them stumbled into crypto. So a lot of them, like my mutual friends and people like competed with, played with, they kind of went down the crypto route. And so stayed in contact and connected with them. This was since like NFT days. A lot of them were into NFTs and stuff like that. So I'm just like watching from a distance. They still play here and there, but most of their time is spent now with like these business and like ventures and stuff. So I want to say like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I I feel like somebody like talked about a launch pad. They're like, oh, this is like really great for tech companies and stuff like that. People that offer real world product and they can monetize it and also grow it like huge. So I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. I didn't really think anything of it. And then a big person reached out to me and he was like, dude, like this fits your like brand perfectly. Like I know you're not into it, but you should really look into it. So I did my research and that's pretty much how like I heard about Believe.
Was it a big friend of yours or like someone from the Believe team that reached out?
Like close friend, old Fortnite player, ex.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's super sick. What's the experience been like launching so far?
It's actually been like awesome. I feel like I had a super tight knit community, just based off of my past business history. Um, General chat, super active, returning customers, responding to people that just need help. I grew up already pretty big brand on Twitter with 26,000 followers. So like I had a community like that was already there and we were close, but I feel like launching the coin has just like opened up the family pretty much. Like we had a Discord chat and our server. I have a Telegram chat now. There's just tons of people constantly talking, constantly just chatting it up with each other. It's like I got more friends now pretty much. So it's super sick. Wake up, chat with them. They want to know the gameplay, want to know the week by week step. And it's really cool to be able to share progress of something that you're building with people that really care.
That's sick. So what is the vision? Give us the grand vision of like where what Paragon is and like where you see the token coming into play soon.
For sure. So obviously we have our set services that we've been offering for the past 7 years. And so we have a high turnaround for customers. I would say like around 2,000 to 3,000 people monthly of people that purchase service in some shape or form. And so people are constantly in demand for what we're offering. There's new games coming out. There's new updates. There's everybody always deals with performance. As long as there's the computer existing, we're probably going to be employed. So the launch of the token, we wanted to kind of reward people that stay within our ecosystem. Right now, it's kind of just loyalty to the sense of like, oh, if I reach out to Paragon, he's going to help me with my computer. But we're dropping a utility basically that right now, the thing that limits us the most is everything's a one-on-one session. And so we deal with people from Australia, from China, we're on a global scale. So sometimes the time difference is super, super rough for us because we're based all around the United States. So we wanted to deliver something that you could download and run if you don't have the funds or the means to purchase one of our physical services, or you just don't have the time to sit and wait around for your scheduled time. You can purchase an application that pretty much does a lot of what we do for you and that you can keep on your computer and run, and basically it tidies up your computer from people that know exactly what they're doing. So we had that plan integrated from like a year ago. Like we knew what we wanted to bring, but we were just planning. It takes a lot of effort and time. It's a big project to work on. So we were thinking about it. We had the drafts and stuff like that, going back and forth with our developer and our teams and stuff like that, and distribution and marketing and stuff like that. And then we launched a Paragon token. The goal is basically to integrate it to our holders, the people that purchase it and support us and our ecosystem, to reward them with basically a point system. And so, which if you purchase the Paragon token, you're actually going to be able to use it to purchase our physical services with a 3 times value boost. So $10 USD worth of our token is worth $30 of our service. And so we thought that was oh yeah, you got it. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I think Dupe is doing something similar. Did you get the idea from anyone else, or did you come up with this idea for the tokenomics yourself?
We kind of came up with it. I like I said, I have so many like crypto people that I follow. Like I'm followed by like Orangey, who's like, so I don't know if you've heard of him, but has a super successful Web2 and Web3 business. I follow a lot of trenchers that used to be Fortnite pros. I don't know if you like Sinted and Booga and all those people I worked with in the past multiple times. And so we stayed in communication and contact. They basically like always like talking on the timeline of like, oh, what this coin is, what this coin does. And so when we came up with the idea, I didn't know if I fully felt comfortable kind of like buying back the supply or something like that. I feel like it was kind of artificially inflating the market cap. But I heard about Dupe, I want to say like 2-3 days ago, because somebody also reached out and said like, oh, this is like a really similar roadmap. But it seems like they have a really good product and stuff. And I probably will use that in the coming weeks to buy some stuff, furnish the house. But yeah, we just came up with that on our own. We just thought we want to reward people that trust us and believe in us. And I feel like that comes in the perfect play using and launching on a platform called Believe.
Yeah, I think that's a great setup that you have. I think that's one of the most elegant token integrations that I see people do. I'm really glad to see that you kind of came up with that on your own. And I mean, even if you copied it from Dupe, it's not a bad thing. You know, I'm just glad to see someone that you're doing this like positive integration for it. Sick. Um, anything exciting you in the next coming like weeks or months? Any big like
Yeah,
updates you're excited to share?
for sure. Yeah. So people have probably like seen it on the timeline and stuff like that, but I'm followed by like an Epic employee dev who works on Fortnite and stuff. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to eventually put the market or put the application on the market of Epic Game Store. And that's probably got over 760,000 yearly users of people that either purchase games or download games from that web marketplace. And so putting our application on there pretty much opens up a ton of new eyes basically to our project. We want to reveal the front end of our tweaking utility later this week. And I really want to get into depth of our PTU point system that we're dropping for people that hold the token and also people that download the actual tweaking utility. Because we have some pretty cool rewards and stuff for people that even if they don't want to download anything on the computer and just hold the token, they can accrue points. But if they want a slight point boost and to compound some interest and some points, they can download the application as well and earn some points. And we want to kind of share what everybody can get in the future for it.
That sounds sick. So those updates are coming in the near future, right? You can't speak too much more about that right now.
Yeah, I want to say some of the things will be released later this week. Our main goal right now is to make our holders of the token know that it's worth something. So I want to say later this week, payment for our services will be fully integrated with the Paragon token on our website. So you can be able to connect and check out with your Phantom wallet and directly pay for the service and get that price reduction and that 3-time value boost.
Awesome. Very nice. Sweet. Do you feel like you would recommend a friend to launch on Believe as well? Like it seems like it's been a good experience to you so far. And so if your friend had like a similar setup where he felt like where you thought it would be a value add to the business and like it would kind of fit well, would you recommend it?
Yeah, 1000%. If you have the perfect business model that aligns with, I would say, like Believe's roadmap and their like morals and what they're about, then 1000%. I've had nothing but a 100% positive experience with Believe. From dealing with like you, like as a community. Also, congrats! I saw your post. That's huge, man. But yeah, everything's just been
Thanks.
smooth. Yeah, everything's just been smooth. I couldn't recommend it more, honestly. I've had zero issues with the platform. Everything's super easy. I can check everything from my phone, the analytics and stuff like that. It's easy to share. I feel like it's easy to put yourself in a correct category. I'll probably say this is the smoothest and no-brainer launchpad app for actual legit companies to use.
Awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. That's great. And there's going to be a lot more updates coming. You know, we're hiring more people and it's getting better every day. So I'm really excited to be part of the team now and working on it. So you have all these creator fees that you've generated. Do you have like a plan for those? Like, how do you view those as a
Yeah.
creator?
So those actually have been like immediately spun back into development. Like obviously, Microsoft charges a lot for things that they want in their store, and our end goal is to also be in the Microsoft store. We're in communications with Microsoft Intelligent Security personnel because what the app does, it does change Windows functions, so they have to be kind of wary on what it is. But we're constantly updating them on like what we're integrating into the application, and the precursor to what we drop for the PTU utility, the performance v4, that's basically like a hint at what's going to come. And we already have over 9,000 downloads on that and tons of satisfied customers that we just dropped completely for free. So people can kind of see what we're about and what we're promising to deliver. So yeah, that has went back into getting Microsoft dev certificates, funding for the development. My dev lives in Seattle, so him full-time coding is like super perfect. We do a lot of split responsibilities. I do marketing, I do communications, but I also do service people's computers. So sometimes our time can be split. Not necessarily it's our strongest suit, but you got to do what you got to do. But my developer can like full-time code and stuff. So he's been just grinding away. We've had editors. We're pumping out content for our YouTube, our TikTok, our Instagram. So really just widening our presence on social media, right? We were already the most followed PC performance hub in the world pretty much. And so now we're just trying to triple that by the end of the year.
I love it. That's a really great use of creator fees. So that's what I love to see. I love to see it like expanding your business and adding it like rocket fuel to your business operations. That's awesome. You mentioned earlier the Epic Games like partnership, or you hinted at it. Can you tell us more about the details of that?
Yeah, so there is already a performance application on Epic Games Store, but it doesn't come from us. I won't talk bad about it, but it's not from people that played the game, competed at the game, and really know the ins and out of playing at a competitive level. So we're basically wanting to put this performance application as a replacement on the Epic Games Store, which we have a good feeling about. Everything seems like all greens are go. So the moment that we're finished with it and we submit it, I think will be clear to be added to the Epic Games Store, which is the end goal basically, or one of the end goals for the actual utility.
So is it going to be replacing that other software, or is it going to be working like, is it going to be like an option that the user has to download?
An option, yeah, an
Okay.
option.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Cool. That's great. Do you know how many options there are right now? Is it going to be like
only one? There's only one option.
Shit. So you're going to be one of two. That's crazy.
One of two. Yeah, one of two.
Cool. Sweet. And you have a good feeling about that. Awesome. Do you know when you might have like a final word on that, or?
I would say maybe in 2 weeks. The back end is really what every marketplace is concerned about. They don't really care about what it looks like on the front end, but what's inside of it, if there's anything malicious and stuff like that. So it's constant reviewing, constant emails back and forth to really show them the interior of the program, what it changes, what it doesn't, what it does do, so that they can get ease of mind, so they can't get bound into like anything legal or anything like that.
Gotcha. Very smart. That makes sense. Good. So it sounds like kind of almost a technicality that they just got to go through and do these reviews, but otherwise it sounds like it's a go. So if people can pay, let's say I want to buy the service, so I buy the token and then I pay with the token. What happens on your end then? Like you receive the token, and then what happens with it? Like do you go and then have to sell that to like pay your people, or like do you hold it in a treasury? Like what do you do with it at that point?
No, not at all. So we've crunched the numbers and it's sustainable. When you pay with Paragon tokens, they're permanently locked. So we're gonna have a stream flow live and a transaction ID for the hashes and everything like that. Every single time somebody purchases our services with Paragon token, they're permanently locked forever. So with the revolving constant demand of our services and turning around 2,000 to 3,000 people a month, all of those purchases will be locked permanently. Those won't be put back into the market, won't be put to a treasury. They'll be untouched and nobody can access them.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. And how did you come up with that? I've heard a lot of creators talk with their holders and actually get so much good, valuable like feedback from them. Is that something where you also like went and bounced ideas off of them and kind of came up with these tokenomic conclusions?
Yeah, there's a couple of my moderators and advisors that I talked to and stuff, and they were definitely saying some of the options were like revenue sharing and stuff like that, which I wasn't too sure about that because it sounded like I had a lot of legality stuff. So wanted to steer away from that. But token locking permanently, not I can benefit from them, only the holders benefit from their value being increased from when the tokens are locked. That was probably the best bet. And that's why we also introduced the PTU points. So whether you redeem the points or you redeem the tokens for a service or you hold them, my customers that aren't into crypto or just need their computer optimized will be paying with it and locking those tokens. People that actually hold the token will be getting PTU points and can redeem them for stuff.
Nice. Awesome. What's your experience with crypto before this? Did you have much, or was this kind of your first foray into crypto stuff?
I feel like during like the pandemic, I like never really got into NFTs. Like I feel like I made a Coinbase account and like looked at some stuff. I feel like I maybe bought a few pictures because my friend told me to, and I got rugged on it a couple times. But like nothing serious. I didn't make anything major off of NFTs. But my outside experience with crypto, like probably now in the future, I just know so many friends into crypto, and we're in group chats and they're in my Discord server, and we just talk all the time. They'll let me know the market and stuff like that. So it's pretty much just like outside looking in on a trader's perspective on their viewpoint of a market and their viewpoint of a project. So a part of me wants to say that I kind of based the tokenomics and stuff on what a trader would like, somebody that would like, and what holders would like as my customers and stuff. So
Yeah, I think that's smart. That's kind of what the token is for, right? It's for people who want the token, and it's good to organize it in a way that everyone wins. And I'm excited to see what you've done. I think you have a pretty good setup, and I'm excited to see what else you got cooking. That's pretty much all that's on my mind, Gavin. Is there anything that you want to talk about that I haven't asked you yet?
Honestly, just like the business and stuff, like people have a sense of like fear when they're investing in anything, obviously. But I wanted to set the precedent immediately when I dropped the token and show that since I've been here for 7 years, you can look at my track record and look at my longevity, look at the amount of followers I've accrued, look at the amount of high value followers that we have as mutuals and stuff, on top of dropping utility up front. Like, I wasn't expecting to make much from the creator fees or anything like that. A friend recommended it to me. I was like, yeah, it's worth the shot. Like, me and my team, every year we drop an iteration of our performance pack. Basically, we know there's people that need better performance, but they just can't afford it, whether they come from lower income countries or just don't have the circumstances. So a little gift to our community is to basically share something with them that they can use on the computer for free. Never charge them anything like that. And so when we dropped it, I was like, oh yeah, like kind of like a little precursor to what we want to release, which is the utility later. And we dropped it, and it was just, I knew what me and my team had to bring to the table and the experience and the track record that we have. So I recognized it, but I wasn't entirely sure other people would recognize it. So then dropping and seeing the response and seeing the accolades and stuff like that and seeing the excitement from people, it's nothing but like fuel. Like, I'm just so excited to deliver for the people that like are super excited for what we have to bring.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys have had a really good, like, positive reception from what I've seen. People have been really excited to see you come on. And yeah, your track record speaks for itself, and the fact that you have all this experience in the industry for years and years and so many happy customers, it speaks volumes.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like another thing, obviously when you're launching, you hear the good and the bad. And I did see a lot of like bad sentiment towards Believe. And I always kept seeing like negative stuff on the timeline, like whether it was like traders I followed or stuff like that, or just stuff that popped up on my For You. They always had something bad to say about like Ben or something bad to say about Believe and stuff. And I don't know. I just feel like if you're starting out on something, what you guys created as a team, like at Believe, nobody can really fault you for that. They can't be mad that you didn't release something that was perfect as imperfect humans. That doesn't really make sense to me. So seeing the response time and energy and swiftness it took for you guys to fix issues that were found, like, I don't know, that's just nothing but respect in my eyes, especially as somebody that has a business and stuff like that.
Thanks. Yeah, so I just joined as community manager a couple of days ago now, 2 days ago. And before that, I was defending a lot of that FUD and stuff. Yeah, people have been upset. I think there's kind of been a lack of communication, which is something that I want to help to fix as well. But I always tell people, like, hey, if you want to build a better launchpad, go for it.
Yeah,
like, good luck. It's not easy to get this kind of like distribution and to build like this product. So we need more competition. The kind of launchpad that Believe is very unique, and there's not many people doing something similar. There's a lot of meme launchpads, and those are fun and awesome, and I love those, but they're different. Where I don't think Believe is suited for that. We're different.
Not even categorize anything towards Pump Fun or Bonk or anything like that.
Exactly. We're playing different games here, and
yeah.
I think people are getting more excited, and we're kind of turning a new leaf with some new hires here, and it'll be. I'm really excited for the future of Believe, and thank you for the kind word. That's nice. Nice to hear.
For sure. I'm just super excited. Yeah, it's just like, when you have something good, you just want to share it, but you can't share everything yet. That's like really what it is like down to. So I do know the sentiment towards like crypto people downloading things on their computer and running applications, stuff like that. Like I understand that aspect of it. So I wanted to not only reward people that aren't trying to make a quick flip on my token, but also holding the token and accruing these PTU points. I can leak a little bit. We kind of have like 5 tiers based off of the USD value of Paragon token that you hold. You fall into these categories, which earns you a set amount per day and a max amount per month. If you choose to download one of our 3 iterations of the utility, since we saw the pretty much the joy from people from Performance V4. We were like, we should just launch a free version of PTU. And so we're working on that alongside a middle price PTU version, which is only going to be about like $25 to $30. And then a more advanced version that has a monthly subscription fee. And if you hold any of those 3 tiers, they actually act as a PTU point multiplier, and then you can redeem them for giveaways. So we have major connects with Razer and Logitech and computer companies and stuff like that. So even if you don't choose to download anything on your computer, you just want to hold the token, you'll actually be able to redeem them for giveaways for entire gaming computers, super expensive keyboards and mouses, even Sony 360 hertz monitors and stuff like that. So just everybody loves tech, and everybody loves to get something for free. So if you're holding it and you're accruing the points and letting it sit there, you can redeem into our weekly giveaways and stuff on top of our customers that we service hundreds weekly, buying the token and redeeming it for the service. Like, I'm just super excited to see how everything turns.
Oh yeah, that's exciting. I love the Razer products. I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, and they were the first ones to have like the
Almost
mice
definitely.
with
The side,
the buttons on the side.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they got a special place in my heart. That's sick, man. Gavin, I think that's all the time we got today. Thank you so much for coming on. I think
No
this was
problem.
a really
Thank you
fun
for having
episode.
me. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Until next time, Gavin.
Until
Take
next
care.
time, Nick. You take care, man.